Hello everyone. In this brief video, we're going to discuss outlining an essay deriving from that process of brainstorming that we discussed in the previous video. Once you have all that information in your brainstorming sheet, once you've aggregated all that information, you essentially have a repertoire of material that has already been organized around the core insights or observations or devices that you've seen in your brainstorming sheet. Now it's up to you to provide the focus necessary to construct an essay. You don't want to just sit down and start writing your essay because if you do, then you're going to find that the logical development of your points is probably going to be fairly weak. You have a general idea of what you want to do, but before you actually move from that brainstorming sheet to the essay itself, you want to have this kind of intermediary step wherein you attempt to establish what it is that you're going to be doing so that you can ensure that there's this logical step-by-step progression of your ideas. The outline basically allows you to provide a structure for your essay and to review the possible connections between the ideas that you want to present to make sure that they actually fit and work together before you move on to the creation of the essay. Because once you have that full developed sort of robust essay and paragraph structure, sometimes the core structure, the bones, the skeleton of the essay can be lost in your development and you might not see the interconnectedness or the failure to connect ideas properly. When you're thinking about creating an outline, the first thing you want to do is try to construct that thesis statement. Keep that in mind. So a basic structure for your outline would be the basic ideas for an introduction, some possible ideas of hooks or ideas that you can use to introduce your subject. Write down your thesis statement. So you have that right there, something that you can refer back to. Try to develop your topic sentences. Write down your topic sentences in main points. Now, the reason that you can do that, or the reason you should do that, is so that you can compare your thesis statement to those topic sentences or to those main ideas, main points, very easily and very quickly. Then, the outline breaks down those main points using examples, details, and explanations. So you would provide this small quotation that you're going to use, maybe just an elided version of that quotation you're going to use, and then some point form notes about how it is you're going to use that point, or what it is you're going to try to prove using that point, how you're going to analyze it. Then you do that for two more quotations or two more examples, because in a standard paragraph, you have three quotations, three examples, three claims, all that help you to prove that main idea. Now, how do you generate that main idea or that main point? When you're outlining, turn back to your brainstorming sheet. If I want to know what is it I'm going to talk about in this paragraph, I look back to that brainstorming sheet and I see the collection of ideas. I think back to how I actually came to that thesis statement, how I came to the idea that I'm going to argue in this essay. Because if that collection of ideas, that collection of examples worked to give me the idea for the thesis, then I can probably take those and work them into a single body paragraph. I can find a main idea or a reason from the story that this thesis is true that I can base this paragraph around. One of the reasons that you want to create an outline in this way, having your thesis statement stated directly, clearly, and concisely in this area, and then having your main idea, just a single sentence, kind of topic sentence that you're going to use this paragraph, and then your examples with short descriptions and short pieces of analysis, is that structuring your outline in this way will allow you to very clearly see the connections between ideas and ask yourself some critical questions. Does the main idea here actually help me to prove the thesis statement? Once I've written it out, is there a connection, a logical supporting connection, or a supporting argument for the thesis in my main idea or in my topic sentence? If not, then that topic sentence needs to be changed. It needs to be refined into something that really does connect to. It relates to proving and helping you to develop the thesis. In the same way, logically, I'm building my argument in this paragraph point by point. So I establish point A using example A, and then I transition logically into point B. I build off point A to get to point B, to get to example B. That helps me develop the main idea, well, point A to point B to point C. And then I do the same thing for point C. As I look at this outline, I can see, does this example, the quotation that I've chosen, really fit with, well, the main idea that I've selected? Then Does this second main idea or the second example, does it fit with the main idea? Does it fit with the device that I'm chosen? Third, does that fit with the main idea? Does that fit with the device that I've chosen if I'm building my paragraph around a device? Then I can look at the points of analysis, what it is that I'm trying to prove after each example. Does that point of analysis help me to prove the main point? Does it lead into the second point? Does the second point build off the first point of analysis that I offer? And then the same with the third point of analysis. Because you don't want to just make the same point over and over again in a paragraph. You want to develop it. You want to build on it. You want there to be forward movement in the paragraph where you establish something in point A, move on to something slightly different that you sort of develop into point B, and then you develop that completely in point C, such that by the end, your main idea has been fully developed, fully argued, and fully explored. You follow that same basic process for outline in the second paragraph, the third paragraph, maybe the fourth paragraph if you have a fourth paragraph, and then you have the conclusion. You have your reworded thesis. You go through your sample arguments or your main ideas again, and then you offer your other ideas to conclude. You offer this kind of concluding comment on the relevance. So this outline is the place for you to start thinking about what that idea is going to be. Looking at what I've gone through in this argument, these 3 body paragraphs that I've developed, what is it that I can say? Is there something relevant about this point that I can develop into the conclusion? Developing this skeleton for your essay or developing this outline for your essay is going to help you to better see the interconnectivity of your ideas and then thus to understand where maybe your argument starts to decohere. Maybe point A for body paragraph 1 doesn't quite fit. But there's not a logical connection. I can't explain it in a way to fit. Or maybe the quotation I've chosen for point B really doesn't fit with the device that I've mentioned in my topic sentence. I've cut away everything that's unnecessary just to leave the skeleton so I can see where the connective tissue might start to break down. So it's a good idea to have your essay outlined and then to use that outline as you're writing your essay because you've already got all your ideas down here. All you have to do is fill in the details, the explanations to finish off the argument. Doing that will help you to develop a more cohesive and logical essay.